Hey guys, sup? Welcome back. I'm your host, Mr. Phoenix, here as always, bringing you guys some more Magic the Gathering Online content. Today, I'm going to be bringing you a match with my upgraded pre-con deck that I just went over. And, yeah, I want the die roll, so I'll go first. Standard EDH game. I'm up against Loro, Ageless Aesthetic, my very first commander. Really love this guy, but I don't play him because everybody hates him. Gahiji, Honored One, and Maelstrom Wanderer. Um, Opened up a decent hand here of double forest, double swamp, pathfinder, sorcery, casualties, war, and Eva. Guess we'll keep it. Um, yeah. So anyway, uh, yeah, gonna be providing some commentary over this match and just in general doing stuff like that. So anyway, gonna draw into our arcane signet as we are going first. Play Path of Ancestry as our land for turn. Really love this land. You don't want to attack, and we'll just pass the turn. I'll actually go ahead and set our yield all for now. We can tap to add a mana of any color in our commander's color identity, and when it's spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with our commander, we can scry one. So that's any elf or noble, but it's really just going to be elf for us. Anyway, as far as threats here, we really don't know what Pablo's going for, but just because he's going to be on the throne most, if not all, of the game, we should probably start off by focusing him. So during his upkeep, Alora is going to trigger, giving him 2 life. He basically has a super old mechanic called Imminence, which means that you get an effect if your commander is either on the field or in the command zone, so it kind of is cheaty like that. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 2 life, that's if he's on the field. And whenever you gain life, you may pay 1 generic mana. If you do draw a card, and each opponent loses 1 life. That's also if he's on the field. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Flora Ageless Aesthetic is in the command zone, you gain 2 life, and he's a 4/5 giant soldier for 3 in Esper. Pablo Diablo is going to play a Hollowed Fountain as his land for turn. He won't pay, so it'll untap till pass. Shadow Moses will play a beautiful Unhinged Mountain as his land for turn. And pass. I'm just going to call him the Maelstrom Wanderer player. We'll play a forest, have to play a soaring, and pass. It'll come back to my turn. I'll draw on the Ruthless Winnower. Oh, this is still the wrong deck, isn't it? Okay. Alright, this isn't the exact deck that I previewed, but that's fine. We will tap this for a green, this for a black, cast our Arcane Signet. And we'll pass the turn. And Pablo's going to gain 2 more life. Gonna play a Marsh Flats, sorry. Guessing he might just choose to go and fetch here. Yep. And get a dual land. Yeah, just gonna get a scrub land. And looks like he'll be playing a Griffin Airy. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 more life this turn, create a 2/2 Griffin creature token with flying. And of course it's white, but whatever. I like the artwork though. Gonna see Shadow Moses play an Exotic Orchid. Fell Stone on a stick. I mean, not on a stick, I'm retarded. On a land. I'll come back to the Wanderer's player's turn. He will draw and play a forest. And I guess just pass. I wonder if he's playing Mitch's build, which is basically you cast Maelstrom Wanderer, you win. Come back to my turn, I'll draw into a swamp. I'll play another one that I had already had in my hand before that. I will tap my Path of Ancestry for a green, and my Forest for a green, my Swamp for a black, and my Arcane Signet for a black. And I will cast Lateral Blade of the Elves from my command zone, which is a 2/3 Legendary Elf Noble for 2 and Golgari. It has Menace. And whenever it deals combat damage to an opponent, well, to a player, it creates that many 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens. Then I can tap her alongside 10 other untapped elves I control to drain each opponent for 10 life, and I gain 10 life. No Mage Shepherd will be on top, which we scry thanks to the Path of Ancestry. Without a doubt, keeping that on top for the removal. So we'll put it back on top. Lateral into the battlefield. I assume successfully, since there's no blue at the table. Well, I mean, there is, but he doesn't have any. Man open. Laterals, I mean, not lateral. Pablo's going to go to 45 with his Alluro trigger. He's going to play a Polluted Delta as his land for turn. Probably just going to go get, like, a Original Duel or something. Yeah, Underground Sea. And we'll see him cast nothing. He'll just tap out and pass. Moving on to Shadow Moses now. He's going to play a Plains. What's this? Oh, nice. I like the artwork on that. He's going to tap out and cast a Shiny Impetus on my Lateral, which will get +2/+2, but it's goaded, meaning that it attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than him if able. And whenever it attacks, he's going to create a treasure token, which he can tap and sacrifice to add a mana of any color. Love the artwork. Anyway, we're going to see the Maelstrom Wanderer player cast a Coiling Oracle on 3 visits, so he'll search his library for a forest, put on the battlefield untapped, and shuffle his library. Then he'll cast Coiling Oracle, and it'll reveal the top card of his library if it's a land, put it onto the battlefield, otherwise it goes into his hand. He's going to reveal a Ilharg the Raised Boar. And he played a Breeding Pool as his land for turn, I believe, which he paid. Yeah, he did pay to have it enter untapped. Coming back to my turn, I will play a Forest as my land for turn. Then I will let's go ahead and tap Path of Ancestry for a green, a Forest for a green, Swamp for a black, Arcane Signet for a black. We will cast No Mage Shepherd from our hand. And of course, we are going to scry one off of our Path of Ancestry since it shares a creature type with Lateral. Forest, we'll shift that to the bottom. We don't really need that. We have consistent land drops here. that makes me sad. Anyway, so yeah, one thing I know is gonna really make him sad, as he said, is because why he said that is Sunny Impetus gives Lateral extra power and toughness. So that means that Lateral is going to generate double the amount of tokens she usually would. We're going to have her attack Public Diablo for 4 points of both regular and commander damage. And then that will trigger Shiny Impetus. So Shadow Moses will get a treasure token. With no blockers, Pablo has to take 4 to the face, for both regular and commander. So he'll go from 44 to 40 with 4 commander. Then Lathril will trigger, generating 4 1/1 Green Elf Warrior creature tokens for me. Whoop, derp. Then we'll go to our second main and use the activated ability of Null Mage Shepherd, tapping down our 4 tokens to destroy any target artifact or enchantment that we feel is problematic. At this point in time, I guess we should get rid of the Soul Ring. So that's what I'll do, and I'll pass the turn. It'll come back to Pablo's turn. He will gain 2 life on his upkeep trigger due to Alluro, putting him back up to 42. Going to play a Foil Swamp. It's alright, I guess. Scott Bradley. Bailey. Not quite enough to cast Alluro, so feels bad. And it just pass. Don't know how you don't have anything to cast with all that mana, but alright. Coming back to Shadow Moses' turn. He's going to play another mountain. And tap out for his commander. What's it even do? Whenever a creature attacks one of your opponents or a planeswalker. Oh, it gets. Wow. Is this game? That's really cool. Much respect. Okay, so he's going to play his commander, which is a 4/4 beast. Whenever a creature attacks one of your opponents or planeswalker an opponent controls, that creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. That's going to help with Lathril. We are going to see the Maelstrom Wanderer player tap out for a questing beast after playing his land for turn. It will get buffed somehow. Oh, right. Duh. Obviously, his commander. It'll be attacking me. It can't be blocked by creatures of power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures he controls can't be prevented. And when it deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls. We have no blockers that can deal with it, so we'll just take 6 to the face, rather. I'm sorry. Going from 40 down to 34. Come back to my turn, and I'll draw into an Elvish Mystic. I'll play a Swamp as my land for turn. Tap Path of Ancestors. Actually. That questing beast is gonna be a little annoying. Okay, let me do this. I will tap my Path of Ancestry for a green and cast Elvish Mystic. That will trigger Path of Ancestry, allowing me to scry 1. Golgari Signet, we will actually put that on the bottom because we already have more than enough mana. Then we will use No Mage Shepherd, tapping our 4 Elf Warrior tokens to pop Griffin Airy. We will proceed to combat and have Lateral Blade of the Elves attack Pablo Diablo. Moses will get a treasure token, and Lather will go up to a 6/5. Pablo will take 6 more points of both regular and commander damage, putting him down from 42 with 4 commander down to 35 with 10 commander. Moses needed to take a little bit of a bathroom break. Then Lather will trigger, creating 6 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens for me, and I'll pass the turn. It will now come to Pablo's turn. He'll gain 2 life off of Alora's trigger, putting him back up to 38. He'll play a Godless Shrine as his land for turn, letting it stay untapped. Letting it stay tapped, I'm sorry. Tapping down some lands to pass. Okay. He's cast 1 spell this entire game. Well, I mean, I can't let you get out of control, but I'll stop swinging at you for a bit since you're not doing anything. Shadow Moses will play a Temple of the False God as his land for turn, and then he will tap that along with basically all the rest of his lands for Kazul, Tyrant of the Cliffs, a 5/4 Ogre Warrior for 3 double red. Whenever a creature an opponent controls attacks, if you're the defending player, create a 3/3 red Ogre creature token unless that creature's controller pays 3. Really nice. Nice. Alright. Okay, now here's the fun part. He'll come back to the Maelstrom Wanderer player's turn. He's going to Brainstorm, letting him draw 3 and put 2 cards from his hand on the top of his library in any order. Doesn't have to be out of those 3 cards he drew, by the way, just in case you didn't know that. He's going to play a land for turn, and play a Shaman of the Forgotten Ways. I'd be perfectly fine with the Formidable ability, although it's super fucking expensive, damn. 2 and a green for a 2/3 human shaman. He's just gonna surrender. Alright. Okay, well during his instep, well, before my turn basically is what matters, I'm going to tap both of my forest and both my swamps to flash in Eva Nature's Herald, which is a 4/4 Elf Shaman with Flash that gives other green creature spells in my hand the ability to be cast at instant speed, as though they had Flash. It'll come back to my turn, and I'll draw into Andre's Forerunners. I will play a Swamp as my land for turn. I will use Nomade Shepherd's activated ability to get rid of the treasure token by tapping 4 of my Elf Warriors. Probably should have done that while I was casting Leave Eva, but I'm a bad player, so whatever. Um, so now I will tap both my forests for double green. My Path of Ancestry for a green. Actually, let me see. Oh, it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, we'll tap my Path of Ancestry for a green. Both my forests for green as well. And 2 of my 3 swamps floating triple green, double black. Will cast Ruthless Winnower from my hand, which is a 4/4 Elf Rogue for 3 double black. And at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-elf creature. That will let us scry 1 off of our Path of Ancestry, and we're going to find a forest, which we'll put back to the bottom. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Alright. So I guess what we'll do now is just have Lathril attack Pablo Diablo. I know I said I wasn't going to attack him, but this is just to generate the elf tokens. Shadow Moses will get another treasure token, and Gahiji will buff my Lathril a bit more. And I will deal 6 more points of both regular and commander damage to Pablo Diablo, taking him from 38 life with 10 commander to 32 life with 16 commander. That will trigger Lathril, of course, letting me generate 6 more 1/1 Elf Warrior creature tokens. So I will generate 6 more tokens. Then I will use Nomade Shepherd, tapping down 4 more. Activate the ability once more, tapping down 4 more. To pop the treasure token that Shadow Moses got. Pablo will gain 2 life off of the Loro trigger, play an island as his land for turn. Oh yeah, we'll pass turn after that. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What was that? Descend upon the sinful. Exile all creatures. Nice. Right in time. Oh, we will go ahead and return Lathol to the command zone. Obviously. And then, of course, he tapped out for that, so that'll be his turn. Coming back over to Shadow Moses' turn. He'll play Norn's Annex for 3 Phyrexian white, Phyrexian white. Creatures can't attack you or a planeswalker that you control unless they pay Phyrexian white for each of those creatures. Then casting Duelist Heritage for an enchantment for 2 and a white. Whenever one or more creatures attack, you may have target attacking creature gain double strike until end of turn. Coming back to my turn now, I'm going to draw into Beast Within. I will tap all of my lands, floating triple Golgari to cast Lateral Blade of the Elves in my command zone again. That will trigger Path of Ancestry, allowing me to scry 1. Ice on a Scarblade. Sure, we'll let that stay on top. And then we'll pass the turn. Pablo will get 2 more life off his Allura upkeep trigger. He'll play a Vorath Stronghold, that's his lane for turn. Play an Orzhov Signet. I almost said Syndicate there. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is a good game, though. I like it at least. He will then cast a Will of Lost Dreams for 4. It is an artifact that lets him pay X whenever he gains life, where X is less than or equal to the amount of life gained, and if he does, he draws X cards. He's going to find Mystic Remora as another one of his cards for turn that he's going to play, and he'll just pass. Shadow Moses is going to cast Sphere of Safety. That will give Pablo a trigger off of his Mystic Remora, allowing him to draw a card. And of course, creatures can't attack him or a planeswalker he controls unless they play X. X is the number of enchantments he controls, which is currently 3. So we can't attack unless we pay 3 Phyrexian white for each creature. Attacking him. Okay, let's see here. Okay. So it'll come back to my turn. I'll draw until I saw a Scarblade. I will tap all my lands again to cast Casualties of War from my hand. I'll destroy an artifact. No, actually, let's not do that. Hang on, Mama. I know, you gotta go. I know, hang on. I'll tap my Path of Ancestry for a green, a Swamp for a black, and a Arcane Signet for a black to cast Life on a Scarblade from my hand, which is a 1/1 Elf Assassin for 2 and a black. I can tap her and discard an elf card to give target creature -X until end of turn, where X is the number of elves I control. Final Parting on top, sure. I can stay there. And then we will proceed to combat. Have Lathrell attack Pablo Diablo. Moses will choose to give it, can choose to give it double strike. He's going to pass up on that, which is fine. We'll go from 36 with life with 16 commander to 34 life with 18 commander. I will generate 2 1/1 Green Elf Warrior creature tokens. And then I will tap a forest and 2 swamps to beast within his sphere of safety. No. No, I guess we should get rid of the Mystic Remora. Which I'm going to do in my main phase too. Second main, I guess I should say rather. Because he gets a beast. And that will pass turn. Pablo will get 2 life off his Allura trigger. And so then he can use Well of Lost Dreams to draw 2 cards. He's going to play Hall of Heliod's Generosity. That kind of sucks. And I'll be right back. Alright. Oh, okay. Sarah Ascendant. He's going to cast Demir Signet, cast Sarah Ascendant, pass. Oh, and a Soul Ring, my bad. Alright. Well, now we know what we're blowing up with the Casualties of War. Okay, so he's just going to recast his commander and pass. It'll come back to us now. Drawn to Final Parting. We will go ahead and cast Final Parting, tapping both our forest, both 2 of our swamps, and our Arcane Signet for a 5th mana. You will get yes, good. Okay, we'll get Masked Admirers. No, we won't. Please let me take it back. Oh wait, that's fine, because it'll be in our hand. Never mind, that's smart. And we'll dump Crown of Skimfar. Then we will use Lysolon Scarblade, dumping Masked Admirers to get rid of the Beast token. Proceed to combat, have Lathrell attack Pablo Diablo. for 2 points of both regular and commander damage. Duelist Heritage will trigger. Shadow Moses can choose to give it double strike, although he doesn't need to. Because Kahiji is a mandatory trigger, giving it +2/+0. Oh, he is going to let it get double strike. And so that will put Lathril at... Oh, no, he did choose no, I think. No, it is. So it's a 4/3 double striker. So he'll go from 36 life with 18 commander damage to 28 life with, what is that, 30 commander damage? 32 life with 26 commander damage. And then I'm going to generate 8 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens. Okay. It'll come back to Shaman, not Shaman, Shadow Moses' turn. It will cast Shamanic Revelation, which is a sorcerer for 3 and double green. You can draw a card for each creature he controls, and then he'll also gain 4 life for each creature he controls at power 4 or greater, since he controls one. Going to then cast Brave the Sands, which is an enchantment for 1 and a white that gives creatures he controls vigilant, and each creature he controls can block an additional creature each combat. He is going to then have Kahiji, Honored One, attack us. Duelist Heritage will trigger, he'll give it double strike, and Kahiji will make it a 6/4. I know double strike is first strike and double strike, so I'll just assign all my elves to block him and see what sticks. So come back to my turn, I'll draw the Myriad Landscape, which I'll play as my land for turn. Then I will tap both my forests, both my swamps, both my forests, all 3 of my swamps, and my Arcane Signet for green to cast Casualties of War from my hand, destroying an artifact, enchantment, and land, all targeting Shadow Moses. I will blow up his Norn's Annex, his Sphere of Safety, and his Temple of the False God. Does he just concede here? And it looks like he's going to Generous Gift my Lathril, which is an instant for 2 and a white, which destroys target permanent, and its control generates a 3/3 green elephant creature token. So my Lathril will die, which is fine because I'll just return it to the command zone anyway. I'll get a 3/3 elephant, and all his shit will go away. Well, most of his shit will go away. Yeah, pass turn. So yeah, we got rid of his best land. We got rid of, and we also got rid of 2 Pillow Fort cards. So that's really helpful. He could probably recast his commander if he really wanted to. But he's just going to pass it back to us. We will go ahead and you have tapped 2 of our swamps to pay for the 2 generic mana cost of Mirrored Landscape. Tapping and sacking it to search our library for up to 2 basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped. That share a basic land type. We'll get 2 forests. Put them onto the battlefield tapped. And then we will tap. Actually, it's kind of good fodder to discard because we don't really need the land. Alright, so let's go ahead and tap both our remaining forests in my swamp to activate Crown of Skimfar from the yard for 2 and a green, returning it from our yard to my hand. Waiting on you, pal. And we'll proceed to combat and swing at him with both lights on a Scarblade and an Elephant. And our Elephant token he gave us, so we'll hit him for 4, taking him from 42 life down to 38, passing the turn. And a Duelist Heritage will trigger, but he's not going to give it to us, of course. So, that's fine. Is he actually? No, okay, never mind. I guess technically he has to target something before he can decline the benefit, so that's fine. Go ahead and set our yield. He's going to pass again. Looks like it. So come back to us, we'll get Voice of Many. Really terrible card now, since we don't have any opponents aside from him. What we will do, however, is tap our Path of Ancestry for a black alongside our 4 forests and our 3 swamps, floating Quad Golgari to cast Lathor Blade of the Elves from our command zone for the 3rd time. Okay, hang on. Quintuple Golgari. That will trigger Path of Ancestry. We scry 1 now. A forest that will go to the bottom. Master Myers trigger. Whenever we cast a creature spell, we can pay double green, and if we do, return it from the yard to our hand. We're just going to keep that, though, because we can't pay for it. Lathor will enter the battlefield. And then we are going to proceed to our combat step and have our Elephant token smack Moses in the face for 3, taking him from 38 life down to 35. And we'll pass the turn. And he's going to target the Elephant and decline the Duelist Heritage trigger. Pass turn. He's going to, let me see. Oh, nice. He's going to cast Haunted Lamasu, which is a 5/5 flyer for 2 double white. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent creates a 4/4 black horror creature token. And so it'll come back to our turn. We will draw into Marlin the Nurturer, which is fantastic for us. We will go ahead and play that right now. First, we will enchant Lathor Blade of the Elves with Crown of Skimfar, enchanting creature for 2 double green. And the enchanted creature will get +1/+1 for each elf we control and has reach. Then we can pay 200 green, as you know that as we know, of course, from earlier on, to return Counter Swim Far from the yard to the hand. Then we will tap Path of Ancestry, a forest, Path of Ancestry for green, a forest and a swamp, floating 2 green and a black to cast Morrowind and Nurture from our hand, which is a 1/1 Elf Druid, legendary Elf Druid for 2 and a green. And whenever another elf enters the battlefield under our control, we can put a +1/+1 counter on her, and then we can tap her to float an amount of green mana or add an amount of green mana to our mana pool equal to her power. We'll get 2 triggers, one from Master Myers, one from the Path of Ancestry. We'll put the Path of Ancestry one on top, Pact of the Serpent, that will go on top for sure. Then we'll tap our Forest for green and Arcane Signet for green. That way we will be able to say yes to the Master Myers trigger, adding it back to our hand. So now Lathril is a 5/6 reaching menacing commander. We will proceed to combat and have Lathril attack Shadow Moses. Duelist Heritage will trigger, but of course he's not going to give it to us. So I think he just takes it, 5 points of both regular and commander damage. Going from 35 life with 0 commander to 30 life with 5 commander damage. That will trigger Lathril. So now since we dealt 5 damage, we get 5/1/1 green elf war creature tokens. That will also give us 5 Morrowind and Nurture triggers, putting 5 +1/+1 counters on her, making her a 6/6, which is very nice. Proceeding into second main, we will use Lysolana Scarblade's ability, tapping and discarding Master Admirers. We're going to discard Master Admirers to give Haunted Lamassu minus what, 5, 6, -8 on the turn, and we'll pass the turn. Seedborn Muse, yep. And he's gonna enchant it with Martial Impetus, which is enchantment aura for 2 and a white. It gives enchanted creature +1/+1 and is goaded. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, each other creature that's attacking one of your opponents gets +1/+1 until end of turn. We're gonna draw. It'll be our turn. We'll draw on the Pact of the Serpent. We will go ahead and use Lysolana Scarblade's activated ability, tapping her and discarding Voice of the Many to get rid of Seedborn Muse. Yep, he's just gonna concede. And GG. Let me see. Cultivator of Blades is a nice one. So yeah, that is the game. Definitely gonna be more where that came from. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been your host, Cardmaster Phoenix, signing out. See you guys next time. Have a good one.